Back when Star Citizen was in early funding stages, different milestones unlocked stretch goals for the project. The first 3 million promised 40 star systems for the persistent universe, rising to a stretch goal of 100 star systems after the $6 million mark. But by the time CitizenCon 2954 came round, the commitment for a 1.0 Star Citizen release had reduced significantly to just 5 star systems. Given that 5 is a far cry from 100, will that be enough for game launch? I'm Farrister, and this video will explore the topic, sharing some thoughts and reflections. It goes without saying that there will be a variety of opinions on this matter. This video shares my own, but others are equally valid. To start, it might be helpful to consider the 5-star systems that are set to be included in the 1.0 launch, how they are differentiated from each other, and what they will offer. Broadly speaking, there are 3 lawful systems: Terra, Castra, and Stanton, and 2 lawless systems, Nyx and Pyro. The lawful systems will generally be safer places for people to carry out their business, and the lawless systems will generally be riskier. But there will be nuances within that, such as more risky parts of lawful systems with a gradated security response depending on the location. Broadly, the idea here seems to be to balance risk and reward, with the lawless systems offering high risk for high reward, and the lawful systems offering a somewhat safer place for more peaceful types. Out with that, the differences between those systems seems to be in the flavouring, serving up some visual variety for players to experience whilst travelling about. And if the planets of Stanton are anything to go by, that's probably appealing in itself, as different players seem to be drawn to the different styles on offer when choosing where to make their home base. One argument for why the system count has dropped significantly from the original stretch goal is the level of detail included in each of the star systems, now considerably more than the original plan. Given that every inch of real estate can be flown to and explored by players, populating the various planets and moons with different features and points of interest takes time and work. That's especially true for the major landing zones, often incorporated into cities which want to have their own unique look and feel to them. As somebody who enjoys visiting places in-game, that's something I personally appreciate. That level of detail takes time, and so the more star systems, the longer is needed for asset development. And that time element could be a key factor in the decision. It's no secret that Star Citizen has significantly exceeded original time estimates to ship, and so paring back a core feature set for an initial 1.0 release seems like an important step in the journey to actually delivering the game. Altogether, across the 5 systems and 19 or so planets that form this core commitment for 1.0, about half of them are already included in Star Citizen 4.0. So, one potential advantage of limiting the scope of systems on initial release is that the vision of the 5 systems could be closer than some might think. For a game so heavily criticised for how long it's been cooking, that could be a positive. None of that, of course, precludes more star systems being added after a 1.0 launch. Whether that's 1.x or 2.0, the addition of new locations to visit as time goes along is a tried and tested way of keeping players interested in massively multiplayer games. That's been shown for Star Citizen 2, with the much delayed release of Pyro seemingly attracting a lot more players back to the game to experience what's new. So perhaps the question shouldn't be whether 5-star systems is enough, but are 5 systems enough for now? Then, it's important to acknowledge that the CitizenCon presentation for 1.0 also introduced the concept that some content could be instanced, so perhaps wouldn't require a star system. If fleet battles can take place in a game instance, perhaps it's not as necessary to have as many star systems as previously expected in order to create room for all of that to happen. Likewise, the inclusion of player bases and stations in the commitment for 1.0 means that there could be a lot more to see and do in those systems that will be included. But for each of the gameplay loops, combat, mining, salvage, hauling, etc., More star systems probably add more flavour, but also may not be necessary to still support that game loop. So, are 5 star systems enough for Star Citizen? Probably not, but that might be a trade-off worth accepting in order to have a 1.0 product in player hands sooner, with a view to expanding things later as time goes on. But perhaps you disagree. I look forward to reading your opinions in the video comments. If you found this video interesting, you might press the like button, which helps to guide me as to what sort of videos to make in future. And if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, you might like to do that too, so that YouTube knows to show you more videos like this. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed, and as ever, thank you for watching.